Here's the truth we've been avoiding. Money isn't chasing muscle, IQ, or luck. It's answering a signal. Every hour, with every thought, we're tuning a broadcast. And that broadcast is either calling prosperity to our door or warning it away. Before we speak, our aura speaks. Before we ask, our aura negotiates. Before we build, our aura decides whether doors open or slam. So what are we really transmitting? Scarcity or abundance? Fear or certainty? Poverty or power? We don't rise because we suffer more. We rise because we align more. Two people can grind the same hours at the same desk and get different outcomes. One is vibrating desperation, the other inevitability. The universe doesn't reward panic. It rewards resonance. Money is energy. Energy seeks safety. It seeks a home that expands it, not a mind that fears it, not a nervous system that rejects it, not an identity that apologizes for it. We've been trained to worship the grind and ignore the broadcast. We've been taught to chant affirmations our body doesn't believe and call that mindset number. The aura doesn't listen to slogans. It listens to signals. The feeling we carry in our chest, the posture of our decisions, the congruence between our words and our habits. The aura cannot lie. And that is why the world keeps echoing our private frequency back at us. So let's confront the saboteurs. Fear, scarcity, guilt. Fear says, what if I fail? Scarcity says, there's not enough. Guilt whispers, who am I to have more? Those are not truths. They are inherited programs. And they leak from our aura like cold air from a cracked door, draining the room of power. We are not here to nurse those ghosts. We are here to bury them. How? We begin with identity. Wealth isn't something we chase. It's something we can hold. If our identity cannot hold it, it will leave. That's why windfall fortunes evaporate and small wins collapse. Because the aura is still tuned to survival, not expansion. We must train our nervous system to be safe with abundance. We must become the person who can carry the weight of prosperity without shaking. Next, environment, the amplifier effect. A weak broadcast in the right canyon becomes thunder. The people, rooms, habits, and inputs we choose either multiply our certainty or magnify our doubt. Complainers turn sparks into smoke. Builders turn sparks into fire. Guard your gates. Curate your circle. Design your space to speak abundance before you say a word. Environment is not background. It's the stage where your aura performs. Then, embodiment before evidence. The world says, prove it, then believe. Builders believe, then prove. We don't wait for numbers to sanctify our posture. We move as the future self now. Decisions with clarity, speech with weight, presence with quiet power. Results trail identity. Evidence is slower than embodiment. To harden this into daily discipline, we calibrate. Every morning we tune the instrument. Ask, what am I feeling? And does it serve who I'm becoming? If not, we recalibrate. Fear to faith, scarcity to gratitude, doubt to certainty. This is not denial, it's command. Then we pre-play the day. We run the tape forward in our mind, experiencing the wind before it arrives, importing tomorrow's confidence into today's chest. When the body believes, the aura broadcasts. When the aura broadcasts, the world answers. But an aura without a skeleton buckles. So we forge 4 pillars. Certainty, the loudest signal. We don't posture, we decide. We trust our judgment, own our worth, and move. Hesitation leaks power. Decision concentrates it. Calm. Prosperity avoids chaos. We train stillness. Measured breath, measured words, measured moves. Calm is not softness. It's a blade in a sheath. Everyone feels safer investing in calm hands. Congruence. Thoughts, words, habits, aligned. If we declare abundance but spend from panic, our signal fractures. Integrity isn't moral theater. It's frequency stability. Contribution, value is gravity. The more we solve, the more we serve, the heavier our pull. Take, repels. Create, lift, expand, attracts. Wealth follows usefulness. Now ask the hard questions. Where are we still performing poverty? Where do we undercharge, over-explain, and shrink? Where do we scroll poison and then wonder why our spirit is numb? Where do we wear humility as a mask for fear? We don't need shame. We need surgery. Expose. Break. Embody. Release. Write the old script. Destroy it. And replace it with a vow. We will rise with calibrated emotion and weaponized gratitude. We will visualize not as fantasy, but as training, rehearsing our future until our nervous system calls it familiar. We will choose rooms that stretch us, content that feeds us, and mentors who demand our expansion. We will act as the person our results are sprinting to catch. Understand, the world is not resisting us. It is reflecting us. Change the broadcast, and the reception changes. Stand differently, and different doors unlock. Speak differently, and different terms emerge. Decide differently, and different roads appear under our feet. This is not mystical, it's mechanical. Frequency locks to frequency. Identity sets the dial. Habit holds it steady. Environment amplifies it. Value magnetizes it. And calm carries it without spill. So here is our commandment, etched in iron. We align before we act. We embody before we earn. We contribute before we collect. We remain calm when storms arrive. We move with certainty when crossroads appear. We keep our words and our ways in agreement. We train our aura daily, because 5 ruthless minutes of alignment beats 12 frantic hours of noise. From this moment, we stop chasing. We start broadcasting. We stop begging. We start belonging. We stop playing small to be tolerated and start standing tall to be trusted. Let others trade their peace for panic and call it hustle. We will be the quiet thunder in the room, the presence that makes opportunity lean forward. We are wealth in motion, safe with abundance, certain without arrogance, calm without complacency, congruent without compromise, useful without apology. Tune the signal, guard the gates, do the work that aligns the soul with the outcome. Then step aside and let the law do what it has always done. Answer the broadcast. Step 1. Daily emotional calibration. The battlefield of the mind. Every day begins long before your body rises from bed. It begins in the unseen. The battlefield is not out there in the offices, boardrooms, or banks. The battlefield is in here, in your chest, in your nervous system, in the quiet whispers of your emotions before the sun even touches your window. What most people don't understand is that they wake up already defeated. Before their feet hit the floor, they are slaves. Slaves to fear. Slaves to anxiety. Slaves to the low vibrations of yesterday's failures replaying on loop inside their nervous system. And because they never recalibrate, because they never take control, their aura becomes polluted before they even step into the world. That's why their opportunities vanish. That's why doors remain closed. That's why wealth avoids them. Not because they're stupid, not because they're lazy, but because their aura is screaming chaos before they've even brushed their teeth. You see, the aura doesn't lie, and the aura doesn't wait. From the very first breath of the morning, you are already broadcasting. The only question is, what are you transmitting? The silent broadcast. Here's a truth that should terrify you. Your aura is speaking for you long before your mouth does. The world doesn't respond to your plans or your affirmations. It responds to the frequency you're vibrating on in real time. If you wake up with anxiety, your aura shouts scarcity, doubt, weakness. And what happens? The universe mirrors that. Bills multiply. Opportunities disappear. People sense hesitation in your voice and withdraw trust. If you wake up with resentment, your aura screams, I am unsafe with abundance. I am stuck in anger. And wealth avoids you, because wealth does not flow toward turbulence. It flows toward stability. But if you wake up, calibrate, and anchor yourself in faith, certainty, and abundance, your aura transmits something completely different. It says, I am wealth in motion. I am grounded. I am inevitable. And suddenly the world tilts. People treat you differently. Doors open where they once closed, and money feels safe in your presence. This is not mysticism. It is mechanics, resonance, frequency, law. And the brutal reality is this. Most people lose the battle within the first 10 minutes of their day. They roll over, grab their phone, scroll through fear-driven news, scroll through comparisons on social media, and feed their nervous system poison before they've even risen. Their aura is corrupted by distraction and doubt. And from that moment on, they are finished. They can chant affirmations, hustle for 12 hours, but the signal has already been set to scarcity. That is why emotional calibration is not optional. It is survival. What emotional calibration really is. Let's strip away the fluff. Emotional calibration is not positive thinking. It is not pretending to be happy. It is not plastering fake smiles on a broken nervous system. No. Emotional calibration is the brutal discipline of tuning your emotions like a weapon. It is asking, what am I feeling right now? And does this emotion serve the future I'm building? If the answer is no, you don't ignore it. You don't suppress it. You confront it, drag it out into the open, and replace it with the signal that serves your destiny. If fear has hijacked your chest, you rip it out and replace it with faith. If scarcity has sunk its claws into your mind, you slice it away and replace it with gratitude. If doubt is whispering in your ear, you silence it and replace it with certainty. This is not easy work. It is war. Every morning is war. And the soldiers who lose this war end up living lives they hate. They spend decades chasing money, respect, freedom, never realizing they sabotaged themselves the second they chose to start their day without calibration. Why it matters more than strategy. The average person believes success is strategy. They think if they just had the right plan, the right mentor, the right stock pick, the right hustle schedule, they would break through. And yet, look at the graveyard of strategies littering this world. Business plans that failed, ideas that went nowhere, people who had the same resources as billionaires but died broke. Why? Because strategy does not override frequency. Strategy does not override aura. Two people can execute the same exact plan, step for step, word for word, and end up with opposite results. One magnetizes abundance, the other repels it. The difference isn't the plan, it's the calibration. The uncalibrated aura leaks desperation. It says, I'm not enough. I don't believe. I don't deserve this. And people feel that. Investors feel it. Clients feel it. The universe feels it. And money avoids it. But the calibrated aura says, I am inevitable. I am worthy. I am aligned. And opportunities flow to it as naturally as water flowing downhill. That is why emotional calibration every morning matters more than your to-do list, more than your marketing, more than your networking. If your aura is off, all of it collapses. The 3 enemies of calibration. Let me introduce you to the 3 assassins that sabotage your aura before the day begins. Fear. Fear lowers your vibration instantly. Fear broadcasts weakness. Fear whispers, don't try, don't risk. Don't believe fear is the prison guard that keeps you chained in the cell of your past. Scarcity. Scarcity is the mindset of lack. It convinces you there's never enough. It makes you jealous instead of grateful, competitive instead of creative, small instead of expansive. Scarcity is the silent killer of wealth. Guilt. Guilt poisons the subconscious with lies. I don't deserve success. If I rise, people will resent me. If I earn, I must be greedy. Guilt convinces you to sabotage yourself at the moment of breakthrough. If you allow these 3 enemies into your nervous system unchecked, your aura will broadcast poverty no matter how many hours you work. And that's why calibration is not just a suggestion, it's an exorcism. The ritual of calibration. So how do you do it? How do you calibrate your emotions with discipline every single morning? Here is the ritual. Awareness. Before you speak, before you scroll, sit still and ask, what am I feeling right now? Don't lie. Don't dress it up. If it's fear, name it. If it's resentment, name it. If it's doubt, name it. Awareness is the blade that cuts through illusion. Interruption. Once you've identified the emotion that does not serve you, interrupt it. This means moving your body, shifting your breathing, standing tall. Fear cannot survive in a body that breathes deeply and stands with authority. Replacement. Don't just stop the emotion, replace it. Fear to faith. Scarcity, gratitude. Doubt arrow certainty. Anchor the new emotion by speaking it aloud with conviction. Embodiment. Feel it in your body. Don't just say, I am abundant. Stand as if you are abundant. Breathe as if abundance is inevitable. Move as if the wealthiest version of yourself already exists. Your nervous system must believe before your mind does. Repetition. Do this daily. Calibration is not a one-time act. It is a discipline, a muscle. And like a muscle, it only grows with daily training. Why most fail? Most people will never do this. They will nod at the concept. They will say, that's powerful. And then they'll roll over tomorrow, grab their phone, and drown themselves in chaos before they've even stood up. Why? Because calibration requires courage. It requires confronting emotions you've been running from for years. It requires killing the familiar enemies of fear, scarcity, and guilt instead of tolerating them. But here's the reality. If you refuse to calibrate, you are choosing to broadcast weakness every single day. You are choosing to repel money, repel opportunity, repel freedom. That's not fate. It's neglect. The warrior's discipline. A GrimFace warrior does not begin his day with chaos. He begins it with command. He does not wake up a victim to his emotions. He wakes up their master. He does not allow fear to whisper. He silences it before it speaks. He does not let scarcity hijack his aura. He drowns it in gratitude. He does not carry guilt like chains. He burns it in the fire of worthiness. This is emotional calibration. This is the discipline that separates the aligned from the desperate, the magnetic from the repulsive, the wealthy from the broke. Practical drill. The 5-minute war. Here's the drill you must practice every morning. Minute 1. Sit in silence. Ask yourself, What am I feeling? Identify it. Call it by name. Minute 2. Breathe deeply. Interrupt the state. Stand tall. Roll your shoulders back. Change your physiology. Minute 3. Replace it. Speak aloud. I am safe with money. I am worthy of abundance. Wealth flows to me. Feel the shift. Minute 4. Visualize your future self. See yourself already walking in abundance. Feel the freedom, the certainty, the calm. Minute 5. Anchor it. Declare, this is who I am. This is my signal. This is my aura. Step into the day with command. 5 minutes. That's all it takes. 5 minutes to calibrate your aura, to align your broadcast, to set the frequency of your day. Ignore this, and you will spend 12 hours chasing what 5 minutes could have magnetized. The dark truth. Let's be blunt. If you don't control your emotions control you. If you don't calibrate your aura, you are at the mercy of yesterday's programming. And yesterday's programming has kept you broke, anxious, and small. The world doesn't care about your excuses. It only responds to your signal. And your signal is written in your emotions. So if you're still broke, if you're still stuck, if you're still invisible, don't look to the world. Look at your aura. Look at your calibration. Look at the broadcast you've been transmitting unconsciously every single morning. Because the law of resonance doesn't break for you. It doesn't bend for your excuses. It simply reflects your frequency back at you. Closing command. From this day forward, stop leaving your aura to chance. Stop waking up as a slave to fear, scarcity, and guilt. Begin each day like a warrior tuning his weapon. 5 minutes of calibration. Every day. No excuses, no negotiations, no compromise. Because wealth does not flow to the hustler. It flows to the calibrated. It flows to the one whose aura broadcasts certainty, gratitude, and inevitability. It flows to the one who masters his emotions before the world even wakes. Remember this, the world is not resisting you. It is reflecting you. Change the broadcast, and the reception will change. Calibrate, command, conquer. Step 2. Identity embodiment. Before evidence. The illusion of proof. Most people are prisoners of evidence. They say, I'll believe I am successful when the money comes. They say, I'll carry myself with confidence when the results show. They say, I'll embody abundance once my bank account validates me. And so they wait, and wait, and wait. But here's the brutal truth. Evidence never arrives for those who wait. Why? Because the aura does not respond to hope. The universe does not answer indecision. Money, opportunity, respect, all of it flows only to those who embody identity before the results show up. The ones who wait for evidence live in circles of struggle. They chase proof instead of projecting power. They beg the world to validate them instead of embodying validation. And the world mirrors their hesitation back with silence. Understand this. The universe does not care about your wishes. It cares about your signal. And your signal is set by your identity. Not your excuses, not your desires, not your bank balance. Why identity comes first. Identity is the foundation. It is the hidden script behind every choice you make. If you see yourself as someone trying to get rich, you will stay in the vibration of trying. Every decision will echo that desperation. Every opportunity will sense the signal of lack in your aura. If you see yourself as a wealthy person in training, expanding into my full potential, then your aura already broadcasts inevitability. The world feels it. People trust it. Money recognizes it. Identity always precedes evidence. You don't become wealthy and then embody wealth. You embody wealth and then become wealthy. This is why lottery winners collapse. They receive money but keep their old identity. They still see themselves as broke, unworthy, unready. Their aura broadcasts confusion, and the money leaves to find a safer home. Identity is the vault. Without it, wealth slips through your fingers. With it, wealth has no choice but to stay. The law of embodiment. There is a law as unbreakable as gravity. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. You want success? Embody success before the world validates you. You want wealth? Embody wealth before the numbers arrive. You want freedom? Embody freedom while the chains still rattle. This is not delusion, it is discipline. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't wait to see the tree before you water the soil. You water it because you already believe it's becoming a tree. You embody the faith of the harvest before evidence of the harvest exists. This is how warriors think. This is how builders think. The weak wait for proof. The strong embody proof. The mask of the old identity. But here lies the problem. Most people are addicted to their old identity. They cling to it like a child clutching a blanket, even as it suffocates them. Their identity is built from echoes of the past. Teachers who doubted them, parents who feared risk, friends who mocked ambition. These voices wove a mask of smallness. I am the struggler. I am the underdog. I am the one who never gets the break. And because they keep wearing that mask, their aura keeps broadcasting poverty, even while they pray for abundance. Identity is powerful because it dictates behavior. A man who secretly believes he is undeserving will undercharge for his services, procrastinate on his goals, and self-destruct the moment opportunities arrive. And then he will call it bad luck. But it wasn't luck. It was alignment. The aura always broadcasts the identity you refuse to kill. The death of the old self. So here is the dark truth. If you want to embody wealth, the old identity must die. You must kill the part of you that feels safe in scarcity. You must bury the version of you that doubts, apologizes, and accepts crumbs when you were destined for feasts. You must destroy the mask built by voices that never knew your potential. This is not comfortable. It feels like death, because it is. Every seed must break before it grows. Every shell must crack before life expands. Every old identity must be buried before the new one rises. The wealthy are not those who never felt fear. They are those who refuse to let fear define them. They made the decision. The old self must die so the new self can be born. The ritual of embodiment. How do you embody identity before evidence? Here is the ritual. Shift your self-image. Stop seeing yourself as trying. Start seeing yourself as becoming. Write a new identity script. I am wealth in training. I am prosperity in motion. I am inevitable walk in prosperity. You don't need millions to walk with dignity. You don't need evidence to stand tall. Practice today. Speak clearly, move with confidence. Carry yourself as if you already belong in every room. Speak from conviction, not circumstance. Replace, I can't afford it, with I am aligning with abundance. Replace I'm broke with I'm expanding into wealth. Your words reprogram your subconscious. Anchor the feeling of abundance. Evidence is external. Embodiment is emotional. Ask, what does wealth feel like in my body? Calm, expansion, certainty. Practice those feelings daily until your nervous system believes. Ritual of release. Write down every limiting belief tied to your old identity. Burn it, tear it, destroy it. Signal to your subconscious. That identity is dead. Do this until the wealthy version of you feels more natural than the broke version. Until your aura broadcasts inevitability without effort. Why the world responds differently. When you embody wealth before evidence, people sense it. They can't explain it, but they feel it. Employers choose you over others with the same resume. Clients pay you more because you carry certainty in your worth. Opportunities seem to appear, but in truth, you've simply aligned. The world is not random. It mirrors your broadcast, and embodiment is the clearest broadcast of all. The warrior's test. Here's the test. Can you carry the vibration of abundance while your bank account is empty? Can you hold the posture of prosperity while the world doubts you? Can you embody freedom while the chains still rattle? That is the crucible. That is where most break. They demand evidence before they believe. And so they never believe, and they never receive. But if you can embody wealth in the absence of proof, then wealth must follow. The universe has no choice. It mirrors identity with ruthless precision. Practical drill. Embodiment before evidence. Here's the daily drill to hardwire embodiment into your aura. Step 1. Stand tall. Shoulders back. Breathe deep. Command presence. Step 2. Speak your new identity aloud. I am wealth in motion. I am safe with abundance. I am inevitable. Step 3. Visualize your future self. See through his eyes. Walk with his posture. Speak with his confidence. Step 4. Make one decision today as if you already were that future self. Sign the deal. Raise your rates. Decline mediocrity. Act now. Step 5. Repeat daily. Evidence will trail behind embodiment like a shadow. Closing command. The weak will wait. They will say, I'll embody wealth once I see proof, and they will die waiting. The warrior decides. He embodies wealth today. He embodies power today. He embodies inevitability today, before the evidence shows up. And because he embodies it, the evidence must arrive. The world does not reward the hesitant. It rewards the embodied. So kill the old self. Write the new script. Walk, speak, and breathe as the future self. Now. Because the law is clear. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you embody. Embodiment before evidence. Identity before proof. Alignment before abundance. Do this, and wealth will not resist you. It will chase you. Step 3. Reprogram the old identity. The chains you don't see. The greatest prison is not made of iron. It is not guarded by walls or locked with keys. The greatest prison is identity. You think you're living freely, but in reality, you are walking inside a cage you built with your own beliefs. Beliefs you never chose. Beliefs you inherited. Beliefs whispered by parents who feared risk. Teachers who mocked ambition. Friends who laughed at your vision. And a society that glorifies struggle over abundance. And now, you wear these whispers as armor. But it is not armor. It is shackles. I am just someone who gets by. I'm not the type of person who gets wealthy. People like me don't succeed. This is the programming of the old identity. And as long as you keep running on that script, your aura will keep broadcasting poverty. Your frequency will keep transmitting lack. And no matter how hard you hustle, you will sabotage yourself at the moment of breakthrough. The brutal truth: you are not broke because of circumstance. You are broke because of identity. The aura never lies. Identity is not what you say. It is what you embody. You can chant affirmations all day long. You can declare, "I am wealthy." But if deep down you still see yourself as unworthy, if your nervous system still vibrates guilt, if your subconscious still runs on scarcity, you will repel abundance like oil repels water. The aura never lies. It doesn't care about slogans. It doesn't care about vision boards. It broadcasts what you truly are, not what you pretend to be. And right now, for most people, the aura is simply echoing an outdated identity that should have been killed long ago. The addiction to struggle. Here's the darkest truth. Most people are addicted to their old identity. They don't just tolerate struggle, they romanticize it. They wear poverty as a badge of honor. They call scarcity humility. They confuse fear for safety. They defend their smallness as realism. Why? Because struggle feels familiar. Scarcity feels comfortable. It is the devil they know. And people would rather live in familiar chains than face the terrifying freedom of abundance. This is why the broke stay broke. Not because they lack opportunity, but because they cling to an identity addicted to pain. The mask. You must burn. If you want to step into abundance, the old identity must die. It will fight for survival. It will disguise itself as virtue. It will whisper, "Don't charge too much. People will think you're greedy. Stay small. It's safer here. If you succeed, you'll leave people behind." But these whispers are lies. They are the echoes of an expired self, a self that is not built to hold prosperity. You must expose it. You must break it. You must embody the new self until the old one rots away. The process of reprogramming. So how do you kill the old identity and reprogram your aura for wealth? Here's the process. Step 1. Expose the lies. Begin by shining light on the old script. Pay attention to the inner dialogue. When you hesitate to raise your prices, whose voice is that? When you feel guilty about wealth, who taught you that lie? When you sabotage opportunities, what old identity is pulling the strings? Awareness is the first blade. Until you expose the old programming, it will operate in the shadows, controlling you like a puppet. Write it down. Don't soften it. I believe I'm not good enough. I believe money is evil. I believe I don't deserve more than my parents had. Put the poison on paper. Expose it. The process of reprogramming. So how do you kill the old identity and reprogram your aura for wealth? Here's the process. Step 1. Expose the lies. Begin by shining light on the old script. Pay attention to the inner dialogue. When you hesitate to raise your prices, whose voice is that? When you feel guilty about wealth, who taught you that lie? When you sabotage opportunities, what old identity is pulling the strings? Awareness is the first blade. Until you expose the old programming, it will operate in the shadows, controlling you like a puppet. Write it down. Don't soften it. I believe I'm not good enough. I believe money is evil. I believe I don't deserve more than my parents had. Put the poison on paper. Expose it. Step 2. Break the pattern. Every time you act as your old self, you reinforce the old identity. Every time you hesitate, shrink, or self-sabotage, you are training your aura to vibrate scarcity. To reprogram, you must break the pattern ruthlessly. When fear says, "Stay small," do the opposite. Speak boldly. When scarcity whispers, "Don't spend," choose generosity. When guilt creeps in, saying, "You don't deserve this," declare, "I am worthy of expansion." Each act of defiance weakens the grip of the old identity. Each opposite action creates cracks in the mask. Until one day, the mask shatters completely. Step 3. Embody the new self. You cannot just think your way into a new identity. You must act it. Ask yourself daily, how would the wealthiest version of me show up right now? Then do that. Walk into the meeting as if you already command respect. Make decisions as if financial freedom is already yours. Speak as if your words carry weight. This is wealth embodiment, behaving as the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. And the more you embody the new self, the faster your aura aligns with it. Step 4. The ritual of release. Sometimes reprogramming requires a symbolic act of war. Write down every limiting belief you've carried. I'm not good enough. Money corrupts. Success is for other people. Then destroy it. Burn it. Tear it. Crush it. This isn't superstition. It is signaling to your subconscious. This identity is dead. Repeat as often as needed. Kill the old self until there's nothing left to resurrect. Step 5. Install the new script. Now replace the void with power. Choose an identity statement that aligns with abundance. I am safe with wealth. I am prosperity in motion. I am worthy of expansion. Don't just say it. Feel it. Embody it. Speak it until your nervous system accepts it as truth. Speak it until your aura broadcasts it without effort. This is the new script. This is the new self. This is the signal that attracts prosperity like gravity. The death struggle of the old identity. Be warned, the old identity will not leave quietly. It will claw at you. It will disguise itself as comfort, as safety, as humility. But remember, comfort zones are poverty traps. Safety is often self-sabotage. False humility is just fear pretending to be virtue. The old identity will try to convince you that you are betraying your roots, that you are abandoning people, that you are changing too much. But you are not betraying anyone. You are betraying poverty. You are betraying fear. You are betraying the prison. That betrayal is the highest form of loyalty to your true self. The warrior's drill, identity reprogramming. Here's your daily practice to reprogram identity. Expose. Write down one limiting belief each morning. Call it by name. Defy. Take one action that contradicts that belief. Embody. Ask, what would my wealthiest self do? Then do it. Release. Destroy one written belief weekly in ritual. Reinforce. Speak your new identity aloud daily. Do this consistently. Day by day, the old self dies. Day by day, the new self strengthens. Day by day, your aura transforms into a frequency that wealth cannot resist. The final truth. You were not born poor. You were trained to think poor. You were programmed with scarcity, guilt, and fear. But programming is not permanent. Patterns can be broken. Identities can be reprogrammed. The only question is, will you do the work? Will you kill the old identity and step into the new? Or will you keep clinging to the familiar prison until the day you die? The choice is yours. But understand this, money is not loyal to the old self. Abundance avoids the outdated identity. Wealth only flows to the reprogrammed. So burn the mask, break the pattern, embody the new. Because money is not waiting for your excuses. It is waiting for your alignment. Step 4. Curate your environment. The amplifier effect. The forgotten enemy. Most people think success is only about what happens inside. Their thoughts, their mindset, their beliefs. And yes, the inner war matters. But here's the forgotten truth. Environment amplifies everything. The strongest aura in the wrong environment becomes weak. The clearest signal in toxic surroundings becomes scrambled. Even a warrior with discipline will collapse if he surrounds himself with parasites. Your aura is not isolated. It is porous. It absorbs. It reflects. It echoes the vibration of everything and everyone around it. And this is where most people sabotage themselves. Not through laziness, not through ignorance, but through negligence. They allow their environment to drown their signal. The law of amplification. Here is the law. Environment multiplies whatever you already are. If you doubt yourself and spend your days surrounded by complainers, gossipers, and critics, your doubt multiplies tenfold. If you begin cultivating confidence and surround yourself with visionaries, builders, and believers, your self-belief expands beyond measure. Your environment doesn't stay neutral, it magnifies. It's the canyon echoing your whisper back louder. It's the mirror reflecting your aura with brutal honesty. And yet, most people live in environments designed for poverty. They drown themselves in scarcity-driven conversations, fear-driven news, low-vibration entertainment, and call it normal. They spend time with people who laugh at dreams and then wonder why their own vision fades. It's not fate, it's environment. The parasites of poverty. Look closely at your surroundings. Poverty has parasites, and they feast on your frequency. The complainers. They normalize victimhood. Their signal is helplessness, and if you stay too close, their helplessness becomes yours. The gossipers. They trade in the currency of distraction. Their aura vibrates smallness, feeding off the failures of others. Align with them, and your own focus withers. The fearmongers. They consume negativity and spit it out into your space. They are broadcasters of panic. Sit beside them too long, and your aura trembles with the same instability. The mediocrities. They don't dream. They don't build. They exist in survival mode, and they want you to stay there too. Their comfort becomes your cage. Every moment you spend with them, every conversation you allow into your mind, is shaping your aura. You are not just hanging out. You are training your frequency. The wealthy understand. The wealthy guard their environments with military precision. They know environment is destiny. That's why they are ruthless with their inputs, their circles, their surroundings. They curate everything. The books on their shelves, the people at their tables, the voices they allow into their minds, even the spaces they live and work in, because they know each of these is an amplifier. Each one is training their aura, either toward expansion or toward collapse. The warrior's discipline. A GrimFace warrior does not allow himself to fight battles in toxic terrain. He shapes the battlefield before he steps into it. He curates his space until it whispers growth. He curates his circle until mediocrity no longer exists in his world. He curates his inputs until his subconscious is saturated with abundance. He curates his habits until his aura broadcasts strength on autopilot. This is not comfort. It is survival. This is not nice to have. It is destiny. The drill. Environmental curation. Here is your drill for curating the amplifier effect. Audit. Write down every environmental factor in your life. Space, circle, inputs, habits. Eliminate. Remove one toxic factor this week. End a draining relationship. Clear a cluttered space. Delete a negative input. Replace. Add one amplifier each week. A new book. A new mentor. A new ritual. Elevate. Gradually replace survival environments with prosperity environments. Make abundance your normal. Reinforce. Revisit this audit monthly. Never let parasites sneak back in. The final truth. Your aura is always broadcasting, but your environment decides how loud it becomes. Surround yourself with scarcity, and your doubts will scream. Surround yourself with abundance, and your prosperity will roar. This is not about luxury. It's about alignment. This is not about comfort. It's about survival. If you continue living in poverty-driven environments, your aura will remain weak no matter how much you want abundance. But if you curate environments of growth, success, and inspiration, your aura becomes undeniable. So ask yourself, who am I allowing to amplify my signal? Are they magnifying my faith or my fear? My abundance or my scarcity? The wealthy are not lucky. They are ruthless curators of environment. They shape the battlefield. They guard the gates. They protect their aura from pollution. And that is why money trusts them. That is why wealth multiplies for them. That is why prosperity chases them. Curate your environment. Shape the battlefield. Multiply your signal. Because in the end, the environment is not just background. It is destiny. Step 5. Embody the 4 pillars of a wealth aura. The skeleton of power. By now, you understand that your aura is your true resume. It negotiates before you speak. It commands respect before you prove yourself. It attracts or repels wealth without needing permission. But here's the truth. Most people's auras are weak because they lack structure. They leak. They wobble. They collapse under pressure. They broadcast inconsistently. Certainty one moment, doubt the next. Gratitude in the morning, complaint in the afternoon. Wealth does not trust instability. Prosperity does not flow to chaos. To make your aura undeniable, you need a skeleton. 4 unbreakable pillars that hold your frequency steady. Certainty, calm, congruence, contribution. These 4 are the foundation of a magnetic aura. Without them, you will sabotage yourself. With them, you become inevitable. Pillar 1. Certainty. Certainty is the loudest signal in the universe. People trust those who trust themselves. Investors, clients, allies. They are not buying your product first. They are buying your conviction. If you wobble, they walk. If you radiate certainty, they align with you instinctively. Think about it. Have you ever met someone indecisive, hesitant, unsure? Did you feel like investing in them? Number, because uncertainty repels. Now think of someone who radiates conviction. They may not even be the most talented, but something about their energy makes you trust them. That is certainty. That is aura. But certainty is not arrogance. It is not pretending to have all the answers. It is the vibration of trust in yourself. Trust that even if the road bends, you will adapt. Trust that even if failure strikes, you will rise. Trust that your worth is not negotiable. The wealthy operate with certainty, not because they never fail, but because they refuse to question their own inevitability. How to train certainty. Decide quickly, then trust your decision. Stop second-guessing. Speak with conviction. Eliminate weak words. Maybe, hopefully, I'll try. Replace with my, I will, I know, it's done. Carry your body like a weapon. Straight spine, deep breath, steady gaze. Your physiology anchors your certainty. Certainty is not something you wait for. It is something you embody now. And once you radiate it, wealth cannot ignore you. Pillar 2. Calm. Chaos repels prosperity. Desperation leaks. Panic destroys trust. If your aura vibrates with frantic energy, I need this deal. I need this money I can't lose. Then wealth withdraws. Money avoids turbulence. Opportunity avoids instability. Calm, on the other hand, is power. Calm says, I am not chasing. I am not desperate. I am grounded. I am ready. When storms rage, calm is the rarest signal in the room, and the most magnetic. People trust the leader who remains composed when everyone else panics. They gravitate toward the one whose aura says, I cannot be shaken. Calm is not weakness. Calm is mastery. How to train. Calm. Breathe before you react. Create a gap between trigger and response. Slow your speech. Speak fewer words, but with weight. Train stillness, meditation, silence, presence. If you can master stillness alone, you can project calm under fire. Remember, money, allies, and opportunities all sense your emotional state. They stay where they feel safe. Become the fortress. Radiate calm. Pillar 3. Congruence. Congruence is alignment between thought, word, and action. It is integrity, not the moral kind preached in books, but the energetic kind that makes your aura believable. If you affirm abundance, but act in scarcity, your aura fractures. If you visualize success, but avoid discipline, your signal collapses. If your words and habits contradict, your aura broadcasts confusion. And the universe does not reward confusion. It rewards clarity. People can't always explain it, but they feel it. They say things like, something about him feels off, or the opposite. I don't know why, but I trust her. That is congruence. That is alignment. How to train congruence. Audit your habits. Do they align with your declarations? If you affirm health but eat like poison, your aura weakens. If you affirm abundance but undercharge, your aura lies. Align your speech with your values. Never speak words that betray your vision. Keep promises, to yourself most of all. Break them, and your aura leaks integrity. Keep them, and your aura radiates authenticity. Congruence is the skeleton that keeps your frequency strong under pressure. Without it, your aura collapses. With it, people feel they can trust you with anything. Pillar 4. Contribution. Contribution is the final, most overlooked pillar. Wealth does not reward selfishness, it rewards value. If your aura broadcasts take, you repel abundance. But when your aura broadcasts service, impact, and generosity, you magnetize wealth. Contribution is not about giving everything away. It is about becoming valuable. It is about solving problems, lifting others, leaving rooms brighter than when you entered. Ask yourself, how does my presence add value here? If people leave you drained, your aura repels. If people leave you inspired, your aura attracts. Contribution is why the wealthiest on earth are also the most magnetic. They carry massive gravitational pull because their aura screams value. How to train contribution. Shift focus from what can I get to what can I give. Build skills that solve problems. The more useful you are, the stronger your aura. Practice generosity, not from guilt, but from strength. Give because you overflow, not because you owe. Contribution turns your aura into gravity. It makes people, money, and opportunity orbit around you effortlessly. The aura of wealth. When these 4 pillars, certainty, calm, congruence, and contribution, are trained, your aura transforms. Certainty makes people trust you. Calm makes people feel safe with you. Congruence makes people believe you. Contribution makes people value you. Together, they create a presence so magnetic that wealth, allies, and opportunities cannot resist. This is not performance. It is embodiment. You don't fake these pillars. You train them until they become your natural state, until your aura broadcasts them without effort. The warrior's drill, 4-pillar training. Here is your practice. Certainty drill. Each morning, make one decisive move, big or small, and refuse to question it. Train the muscle of trust. Calm drill. When conflict arises, breathe before you speak. Anchor calm when everyone else panics. Congruence. Drill. Audit. One action daily. Ask, does this align with the person I say I am? If not, adjust immediately. Contribution drill. Each day create value. Solve a problem, share wisdom, uplift someone. Train your aura to broadcast usefulness. Do this until it becomes second nature. Until the 4 pillars hold your frequency like steel. The final truth. Most people wonder why wealth ignores them. They beg, they hustle, they grind. But their aura leaks. Their certainty crumbles. Their calm collapses. Their congruence fractures. Their contribution is absent, and so wealth avoids them. Not out of cruelty, but out of law. But you, if you build these 4 pillars, if you embody them until they are unshakable, you will no longer wonder if wealth is coming. You will know it cannot resist you. Because wealth does not flow to the frantic. It flows to the grounded. It does not flow to the indecisive. It flows to the certain. It does not flow to the inconsistent. It flows to the congruent. It does not flow to the selfish. It flows to the valuable. Certainty, calm, congruence, contribution. These are the pillars. Train them daily. Embody them relentlessly. And your aura will become undeniable. Stand with certainty. Move with calm. Speak with congruence. Live with contribution. Do this, and your aura will roar prosperity louder than any resume, any degree, any hustle ever could. We've walked the path. 5 steps. 5 weapons. 5 disciplines to turn your aura from fragile noise into a signal the universe cannot ignore. Step 1. Emotional calibration. Tune your frequency daily. Kill fear, scarcity, and guilt before they poison your broadcast. Set the tone in the first 5 minutes, or lose the day before it begins. Step 2. Identity embodiment. Before evidence. Stop waiting for proof. Stop begging for validation. Embody wealth before you hold it. Embody power before it's recognized. Embody freedom before the chains are broken. The world will only mirror what you already carry. Step 3. Reprogram the old identity. Burn the mask. Shatter the outdated self addicted to struggle and survival. Kill the voice that whispers you're unworthy. Reprogram your subconscious to broadcast inevitability instead of poverty. Step 4. Curate your environment. Guard your gates. Shape the battlefield. Surround yourself with visionaries, symbols of abundance, and inputs of power. Your environment amplifies everything. Make sure it amplifies prosperity, not scarcity. Step 5. Embody the 4 pillars: certainty, calm, congruence, contribution. The skeleton of a wealth aura, the foundation of magnetic power. With these 4, your aura becomes undeniable. This is the doctrine. This is the code. This is the path most will never walk. Most will read these words and nod, then return to chaos. They will wake tomorrow and grab their phones, soak in fear, gossip, and scarcity, and wonder why money avoids them. They will stay slaves to their old identity, to toxic environments, to fractured signals. And they will die waiting for evidence, but not you. You are here because you are done waiting, done begging, done leaking your power into poverty. You are here to broadcast differently. You are here to embody differently. You are here to walk into rooms not as someone who hopes for abundance, but as someone who commands it. Remember, wealth does not chase the hustler, it chases the aligned. Wealth does not flow to the frantic, it flows to the calibrated. Wealth does not stay with the unworthy. It stays with the reprogrammed. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every room you enter, you are broadcasting. The question is no longer if you are sending a signal. The question is what you are sending. Poverty or prosperity, fear or faith, doubt or inevitability. The universe does not lie. The aura does not lie. So decide, right here, right now. Kill the old self. Train the aura. Guard the environment. Embody the 4 pillars. Broadcast certainty, calm, congruence, and contribution until they are tattooed into your soul. Because once you do, wealth cannot resist you. Prosperity cannot hide from you. Opportunity cannot avoid you. You're no longer chasing. You're no longer hoping. You're no longer waiting. You are broadcasting destiny. You are wealth in motion. You are inevitable.